Hello, this is Chris Walker with Big Angie Fan Channel here in beautiful Hawaii. Back with another in my series of A to Z reactions to Angelina Jordan, based on the compilation that superfan Rusty Shackleford made of 132 of her songs. I'm in the Eyes right now, which has so many great songs, and I am at If You Go Away. This is one that does not get nearly as many views as it should get, and I hope to show you why. It's mainly a review rather than a reaction. I've seen this a number of times. But before I start, I want to say the usual things that we say about supporting the artist, but a little bit more expanded version this time. Yes, you should always subscribe to the channel and view and like and comment. But for those of you who don't realize it, yes, there is a comment section, and here the graphic is showing you that you do need to hit the arrow to expand it, and there's different ways to sort it. You can sort it by what YouTube considers to be the top comments, or by just chronological order. And in addition to it being a good thing to just comment that it helps the artist, it's also a good thing to read through the comment section just to find out more things. A lot of the commenters give you some new information you might not have heard about the singer. And the other thing is, when I say that there's a link in the description below, that's a phrase you hear a lot. Some of you may not realize that for the description you do have to, again, like with the comment section, there's this arrow here, and that expands out the description, because the default view is just for the first couple of lines. So, here's my links to Angelina Jordan songs and her channels. So, always, that's one reason why it's the best experience of YouTube is on a laptop. TV really doesn't give you the description, and you're usually not listening with headphones. And a phone is actually better than the TV, but it's such a small image, so really a laptop is the best. But so yes, always subscribe, comment, like. Another thing about viewing is that it's not really considered a view unless you go at least 30 seconds. And if you view all the way through to the end, that really helps with the algorithm. So if you want to support an artist that you like, do all of those things. Comment, listen all the way through to the end. I periodically go back and check to make sure that I have a comment on all of the Angelina Jordan songs. I know there's some that I haven't commented, so that's something I try to do every day, is do some new comments. Okay, so now this song is an old jazz standard that there's many versions of, and in fact Alan Papier has a video where he looks at like 12 different versions in addition to Angelina Jordan's. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to look at hers, but I am going to look at a couple of others, and I'm going to talk about how this is a really good example of, it's like soulfulness and emotion winning out over pure technique, because the sound quality isn't very good in this, and there's the other singers, the other more famous singers that have covered this. There's a lot of things that you could point to that maybe their technique technically is better. Well, you'll see what I mean. Let's just get into this. All right. Rusty did a great fan video version of this, cleaned up the audio.
If you go away on this summer day, then you might as well take the sun away. All the birds that flew in the summer sky, when our love was new and our hearts were high, when the day was young.
So this song is so much, the way she's performing it is so much about the emotion she's just really, it's such an emotional performance of it. Like the sound, like the backing track, I think is too loud. They're definitely technically the sound leaves something to be desired, but it's just, it almost doesn't matter because her emotion is so powerful in this, especially when we come to this transition coming up.
And the night was alone, and the moon stood still, so the night bird song. If you go away, if you go away, if you go away. But if you stay, I'll make you a day like no days have been or will be again. We'll sail on the sun.
So here there's, there's a shift in the style of singing, but also there's like suddenly the intensity of the emotion increases, and that's like the main point of it is this emotional quality to the song. And if you look at I'm going to look at two famous singers doing the same song, and at that same part of the song where it goes to that transition to the other part. And in both cases, it's like technically you could say, wow, they're doing some good technique here, but that emotional aspect of it is lost. Okay, so here is Shirley Bassey, who is a great, great singer, I think.
But if you stay, I'll make you a day like no day has been or will be again. We'll sail on the sun.
So there it's like, it's very powerful. She certainly has a great deal of power. She can really sing with power, but it doesn't have that deep emotional feeling to it. It's just like, look at how well I can belt out this part, but not getting into the emotion of the song. So, and that's kind of the same thing with Barbra Streisand. I don't think she's as good of a singer as Shirley Bassey, but she's a very good singer. But it's the same kind of thing here. It's like, look at this technique that I can do with my voice, but not the emotion part.
But if you stay, I'll make you a day like no day has been or will be again. We'll sail on the sun.
So, she's showing some of the techniques she can do, but it doesn't have the emotional impact. There's just, the level of emotion is much lower than with the Angelina Jordan version. So let's go back and compare.
But if you stay, I'll make you a day like no days have been or will be again.
It's like her voice is almost breaking there.
The sun, ride on the rain. We'll talk to the trees and worship the wind. But if you go, I'll understand. Leave me just enough love to fill up my hand.
So it's like, this is, like singing to a loved one with deep feeling, whereas the others are like singing as, I am a very good singer and let me show you how well I can sing. That's a very different thing. For me, with all of the things that you could say about the sound quality and her technique, the different kinds of singing techniques she's using, not being as powerful as Shirley Bassey, for example, that's overridden by just how she gets into the emotion of the song and expresses that emotion, transfers it from her to the listener.
If you go away, if you go away, if you go away, if you go away, as I know you must, there'll be a nothing left in the world.
I think Rusty's choice of how to present this visually works well with the song too.
Full of empty space, like the empty look I see on your face. Can I tell you now, as I turn to go, I'll be dying slow till your next hello. If you go away, if you go away, if you go away.
It's like she's almost crying there.
But if you stay, I'll make your night like no night has been or will be again. I sail on your smile, I'll ride on your touch, I'll talk
I'm trying to keep the tears back.
that I love so much. But if you go, I won't cry, for the good has gone, for the word goodbye. If you go away, if you go away, if you go away, if you go away.
So good, so good. This has 75,000 views, 76,000 views, and it should have so many more, I think. So check out the link in the description. Watch it, do a like, and do a comment. I'm just looking at some of the comments here, and yes, here William Johnson is kind of echoing something that I was just saying. He says, when her voice breaks, it feels like she is actually crying, and of course that makes me cry. Yeah, no one has brought the gut-wrenching desperation to these lyrics like Angelina. Exactly, it's the emotion. So it's always, it's usually at least, it's very, it adds a lot to kind of at least skim through the comments and see what people have said. There's a lot of very insightful comments. Now you do have to take it with a grain of salt. Usually these are big fans, so you're kind of getting, the rabbit hole of people who just totally love Angelina Jordan. But still, I almost always find it rewarding to look through the comments. So look through the comments and comment yourself. That will help Angelina Jordan. Okay, another wonderful, wonderful song by Angelina Jordan. It's actually right there, right below the top tier, I think, just because of the audio limitations. But it's one of her best in terms of just expressing emotion. It's an emotional song, and she's singing it. She's singing it so emotionally that I came very close to crying on this one. All right, this has been Chris Walker with Big Angie Fan Channel here in beautiful Hawaii. Aloha.
Go away, if you go away, if you go